ਜਿਵੇਂ ਤੇਰੀ ਲਾਸ਼ ਤੇ ਆਈ ਆਂ ਮੈਂ, ਐਵੇਂ ਕੋਈ ਹਮਸ਼ੀਰ ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਆਈ। ਜਿਵੇਂ ਤੇਰੀ ਲਾਸ਼ ਤੇ ਆਈ ਆਂ ਮੈਂ, ਜਿਣ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨ ਕਾਤਿਲ ਅਕਬਰ ਦੇ, ਮੈਂ ਹਾਂ ਮਜਬੂਰ ਨਾ ਰੰਜ ਥੀਵੇਂ, ਮਤਾਂ ਅਮੜੀ ਕੂੰ ਮੰਜੇ ਆਖੇ, ਮਤਾਂ ਅਮੜੀ ਕੂੰ ਮੰਜੇ ਆਖੇ, ਨਹੀਂ ਕਫਨ ਪਵਾਇਆ ਜ਼ੈਨਬ ਨੇ। ਤੇ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਕਲਮਾ ਤੂੰ ਵੀ ਪੜਨਾ ਏ, ਤੇ ਕੂਹੇ ਸਿਖਲਾਇਆ ਜ਼ੈਨਬ ਨੇ। ਦੀਨ ਇਸਲਾਮ ਦਾ ਹਰ ਜਾਤੇ ਪਰਚਮ ਲਹਿਰਾਇਆ ਜ਼ੈਨਬ ਨੇ। ਸਰਵਾ
بر محمد و آل محمد صلوات. سارے دیگر سلام. ہے شام کے لوگوں میں بنت علی ہوں، میں وارث تطہیر ہوں، ناموس نبی ہوں. اے شام کے لوگوں میں بنت علی ہوں، بازار سے دربار میں لے آئے ہو مجھ کو، چاہوں تو جلا سکتی ہوں خطبو سے میں تم کو، صابر کی بہن ہوں جو میں خاموش کھڑی ہوں. اے شام کے لوگوں میں بنت علی ہوں، افسوس کنیزی میں اسے مانگ رہے ہو، تم جس کے غلاموں کی غلامی میں رہے ہو، یہ ظلم نہ ہوگا ابھی میں زندہ کھڑی ہوں. اے شام کے لوگوں میں بنت علی ہوں، تم اپنے پیغمبر کو اگر دیکھنا چاہو، نیزے پہ جو یہ سر ہے اسے غور سے دیکھو، ہم شکل پیغمبر ہے یہ میں اس کی پھوپھی ہوں. اے شام کے لوگوں میں بنت علی ہوں، زہرا کو بھی دربار میں تم نے تھا بلایا، اور دربار میں میں بھی ہوں مگر فرق ہے اتنا، پردے میں تھی اور میں بے پردہ کھڑی ہوں. اے شام کے لوگوں मैं बिनते अली हूँ। और जंजीरों में जकड़ा जो ये भी मार खड़ा है, सजदा इस काबे की दीवारों ने किया है। मनसब में बड़ा वो है और रिश्ते में बड़ी हूँ। है शाम के लोगों मैं बिनते अली हूँ। होने लगी दरबार में मुश्तरका अज़ाने, रेहान इधर नाम नबी गूंजा फिजा में। बीबी ने कहा फख्र से मैं जीत गई हूँ। है शाम के लोगों मैं बिनते अली हूँ। मैं वारिस तत्हीर हूँ, नामूस नबी हूँ। है शाम के लोगों मैं बिनते अली हूँ। सल्लल्लाहु मोहम्मद।
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Just, just a few quick announcements. First of all, on this occasion of the wafat of BIBI ZAINAB, I would like to Salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. I would like to send my condolences to the household of the Prophet and our 12th Imam. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. A couple of quick announcements. So next Thursday, our Shabe Juma program will start at 7 o'clock. So that's next Thursday with Isha Salat. And our Juma Salat will start at 12:34. The Awal work next Friday. There will be more programs coming up. There's some Shahadats this month, couple more Shahadats, and there's Mehraj program. But we will be sending the emails out to you in the next week or so. So just keep that in mind. There will be a couple more wafats, plus also the Mehraj in this month of Rajab. Ramadan is not too far away. As you know, last year we did the program for a whole month. That was our first time doing it a whole month. Normally we used to do it for 15 days. But now, last year we did it for 30, and I know there's been requests from people, are we doing it for 30 days? So I just wanted to get a feedback from everyone. We are leaning towards doing it 30 days. Last year we had our budget set at around 27,000. We came at our collection was around 23,000, so we were shortfall by 4. It's good to be a part of a bigger Jamaat who usually carry us over when we're in a shortfall. So the month is not too far away. If you can start donating generously, plus also we'll need volunteers as well. It's usually 2 or 3 volunteers who stay at the end of the program and that. So if you can, if people are interested in volunteering, it don't have to be every day. You can do say certain days you want to volunteer. We will appreciate some volunteers for the month because it's 30 days and there's a lot of work involved. So if anybody can help us out, volunteer the time after the program for cleanup and that, or serving the niyaz and that. So let us know, any one of us in the committee members. Can I request a Surah Fatiha for Marhum Ali Dirani, Marhum Hasnain Rahim, Marhum Yusuf Ghulam Hussain Mauladina, Marhum Shehnas Pyar Ali Molu, and all our Marhumins, please. Bismillah. Now, with your loudest salawat, if I can ask Maulana to please come up. Thank you. Allah.
मुक़द्दर दस्ते यज़ीद हक्का के बिना ला इलाहा हुसैन पर मोहम्मद व आले मोहम्मद सल्लल्लाहु
अल्लाहुम्मा सल्लि अला मुहम्मद। अऊज़ु बिल्लाहि मिनश शैतानिर रजीम। बिस्मिल्लाहिर रहमानिर रहीम। अल्हम्दुलिल्लाहि रब्बिल आलमीन व बिही नस्तईन व हुवा खैरुन नासिरीन व मुईन। सुम्मा अस्सलातु वस्सलाम वत्तहिय्यतु वल इकराम अला सय्यिदिना व नबिय्यना अबिल क़ासिमिल मुस्तफ़ा मुहम्मद व अहले बैतिहिल अत्यबीन अल अतहरीन अल मुंतजबीन सियमा बक़ियतिल्लाहि फ़िल अरज़ीन अल्लज़ीना अज़हबल्लाहु अन्हुमुर रिज्स व तह्हरहुम तत्हीरा। सल्लल्लाहु अला मुहम्मद वल्लअनतु दाइमतु अला अअदाइहिम अजमईन। अम्मा बाद फ़क़द क़ाल अल हकीम बिस्मिल्लाहिर रहमानिर रहीम। यौमा नदऊ कुल्ला उनासिम बिइमामिहिम। सलवात प्लीज़। अल्लाहुम्मा सल्लि अला मुहम्मद व आले मुहम्मद। Dear brothers, my condolences to all of you, your households, and the household of Rasulullah, especially Imam Zaman Ajjalallahu Ta'ala Farajahu Sharif on this on this really sad night of the wafat of BIBI ZAINAB Kubra Salamullahi Alayha. Salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. BIBI ZAINAB does not need any introduction. Remember, two personalities are mentioned always. Doesn't matter what majlis is it. And they are Imam Sajjad and Imam BIBI ZAINAB. Why? Because in Masaib, most of the times, they are related to these two dignitaries of Islam. I will be connecting with my topic, which is Imamat. We are discussing Usuluddin, and we have shed some light on some of the aspects of Imamat. And remember, our sources are three. We have three main sources of the discussion. Number one is the Book of Allah. Number two is the Sunnah of Rasulullah. And number three, today, which I want to touch base a bit, is the historical conduct, let's say history, historical events, waqaye tarikhi, what happened in history, how people dealt with the issue of Imamat after Rasulullah. Because remember, history is a great teacher. You can't do anything else other than what is being told in the history. So I chose this very ayah, Yawma nad'u kulla unasim bi imamihim. The day, Allah is speaking for the day of resurrection, we are gonna call every group of people. Unas is plural. We will call every single, if I can say in brackets, every single of you with your Imam. Allah doesn't say with your Prophet. The key word is Imam. Just put that in mind. And today I'm going to give you, inshallah, a very bigger picture of the issue. I'm going to give you some of the texts from the most reliable books. And I want to compare a bit. What is the Shiites' view? What are the Sunnis' view? Or non-Shiites' view? Because nowadays many people, they're asking questions which kind of indicate that there are many doubts nowadays within Shiites even. With your salawat, please. Salli ala Muhammad. But as a barakah, BIBI ZAINAB is somebody about whom the God's messenger said that she is a likeness of BIBI Khadija salamullahi alayha. Salli ala Muhammad. And she is the person who exactly did. She is a likeness of her mother in modesty, and she is likeness of her father in valor, shuja'at. And she is likeness to Imam Hassan in her intellect. And of course, she is a symbol of patience and courage, like Imam Hussein alayhi salam. Salli ala Muhammad. Like Bibi Fatima stood for Walayat of Amir al-Mu'mineen, this precious lady of Ahl Bayt, who is known as Aqila to Bani Hashim, the intellectual of Bani Hashim's tribe. Aqila Bani Hashim, yani Urdu mein jaise hum kahenge. And this title was given to her by no one other than Hazrat Abdullah ibn Abbas. Our brothers, they have great regard for him. Now, coming to my point, first of all, let's see what is the view of our brothers. How do they see Imamat? As soon as Rasulullah passed, I gave you this text from Qadi E.G., maybe their most reliable and trusted mutakallim, Mahir, the expert in theology, that near them it is wajib but on people to appoint an imam. And remember, this is also sam'an. They said there's no writing, no hadith from Rasulullah, no ayat from God. It's just by listening. While in contrast, Shiites, they said no, it's not wajib on us and it's not wajib on even Rasulullah, rather it's obligatory, wajib on Allah Jalla Shanu. And look, I gave you the ayah. This is from Surah Mubarakah Bani Israel, 17th chapter of Quran. Yawma nad'u kulla unasim bi-imamihim. Now let me quickly give you some references. Sahih Muslim is the second most reliable book among the 6 canonical books of our brothers, after Bukhari. And even one hadith, if proven to be true word of Rasulullah, is a hujjat, a proof for everybody who believes in the apostlehood of Rasulullah, his risalat, that if it's word of Rasulullah, we must obey him. Denial of one hadith equals denial of all of his ahadith. This is agreed upon among all the Muslims. Having said that, how did Muslims address the issue of imamat? From Rasulullah, they reported, and this is a mutawatir hadith, both Shiites and Sunnis, they have mentioned it, with different words. Man mata wa laysa fi unuqihi bay'atun mata mitatan jahiliya. Who dies without an imam? I'm going a little fast. No, let's not be fast. Who dies? Man mata wa laysa fi unuqihi bay'atun, and he has no pledge of allegiance in his neck. I mean, he has no oath to somebody for his allegiance. Bayat nahi hai uske gale mein. Mata mitatan jahiliya. For having no bay'ah in his neck, the sharih, somebody who commented on hadith, Sharh Mishkat al-Masabih, he says that bay'ah ay lil imam, yani no bay'ah for an imam. And he says this hadith goes back to the very famous hadith which says man mata walam ya'rif imama zamanehi mata mitatan jahiliya. Muslim did not put the word imama zamanehi, pay attention. Mishkat, this interpreter, Mullah Qari, Ali Qari, he is a very renowned and reliable sharih, annotator. He says that this is about the imam. And I gave you in the last majlis the text of many mufassirin for the ayah of innama anta munzir wa likulli qawmin had. He said hadi, a guide, is Imam Ali. And I gave you Fakhr Razi, Jalaluddin Suyuti, Tabari and others. Tabari even went even further. He says that لكل قوم إمام يأتمون به هاد يتقدمهم فيهديهم إلى خير إما إلى شر. He says this hadi is the imam of every group, regardless of this imam guides them to evil or guides them to righteous deeds. But this means imam. And then he goes, yes, people, they have differed that who is this hadi? But he says a group of people, among many other opinions. He says one of the opinion is, they said this imam is Ali ibn Abi Talib because he gives the hadith that Ya Ali bika yahtadil muhtaduna. Rasulullah puts hand on his chest. I am Munzir, I am the warner in this ayah. And he then grabs the shoulder of Imam Ali, says, you are the Hadi. If anybody who needs hidayat, guidance, he will find it or get it through you. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. Now, texts are sometimes tiring. Yeah, they eat up your lots of time. They suck up your time. But what is the purpose? I can give you my opinion in 2 minutes instead of giving you text in 5 minutes. But text brings us the nur, because this is the word of Rasulullah. And what is the point? For especially our youth. Whenever you come to a majlis, don't just come to majlis and listen and go. No. Have some indication, have some food for thought. Go home and do your research. As in Arabic they said, Torah, for God's sake. You spend so much time. If you're given an assignment for your, I don't know, school, your college, your university, you're happily spending 10 plus hours for one assignment. And for your religion, you're not ready to spend 2 hours? Afsos, that is so sad. And the result is nowadays, I have to beg you for this. Please excuse me for saying this. People, they have questions which give me the impression this person knows not even alif ba ta of religion. Where is it happening? How is it happening? Where are the roots? Why are nowadays we so ignorant? For the sake of Bibi Zainab, look at her. Look how much she had. She was married to Hazrat Abdullah, whose title is Bahrul Jood, ocean of generosity. And this is not given by Shiites, it's from non-Shiites. He was an affluent person, and Bibi Zainab was so generous. Look, she gave everything. In Masaib, if Allah allowed me, she sacrificed everything. Her status, her position, went in captivity, defended Imam, obeyed the Imam of her time, and then protected the follow-up Imam, Imam Sajjad. Who protected Imam Sajjad from Ibn Ziyad? Bibi Zainab. If it were not for Bibi Zainab, God forbid, maybe Ibn Ziyad la'anatullahi alayh was going to kill Imam Sajjad alayhi salam in Kufa. Have a salawat on them. Salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. And it won't be relevant in brackets if I can mention, our Muhammad Bhai, from his place he's supposed to say that way, but I can invite you even towards one of the rituals of Islam is donating for the religion of God. For Ramadanul Kareem, for other events, these centers, dear brothers and sisters, we are the one who run them. We are the one who are supposed to support them. It's us. Angels are not going to come pay for our bills. The barakah we get, our family, our children especially, they get. Is it not reasonable to pay for it? Centers are not here, astaghfirullah, in the sense that you have to pay for it. But point is, this infaq, Allah has promised 700 times multiplied by 2 at least in Surah Baqarah. That if you donate, if you spend money in Allah's way, Allah will give it back to you. But what are we going to do by going through this conduct? We are going to be the part of that conduct which causes the revival of our holy religion, the message of Ahlul Bayt, the message of Allah. And what a more worthy task than this? This money is to come and go. Doesn't matter where. And please allow me to say this, sometimes हमारे दिल का दर्द हम नहीं कह सकते, we don't want to be too direct. People will go spend easily $500 in a trip to Toronto, but they will think twice, should I give 100 here or 200? Give maximum you can, because Allah is going to give you back. يُضَاعِفُ لِمَنْ يَشَاءُ, Allah says, I will multiply for you. Please have a salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. And as we know the ahadith, and inshallah in the days to come I'll mention more for Ramadanul Kareem, if you give iftar to one mu'min, even with one date, that fruit date, oh, यहाँ की English date नहीं. Yeah, Ali, let's be clear. The reward is forgiveness of all of your sins. What else do we need? But are we not? Don't we have fifth principle, Usuluddin, Ma'ad, hereafter? That I have to go meet my Lord. And He's going to question me the whole nitty-gritty of my life. Whatever I did. So I hope everybody, inshallah, participate in max. Because Ramadanul Kareem is the Rabi'ul Abrar and Rabi'ul Ashhur. And that is the best time to make progress. The gates of mercy of Allah are open and our a'mal are accepted. Allah Jalla Shanu looks at all the ibad with a special mercy and giftful look. Lucky are those who earn the most rewards during those blessed days and nights. And inshallah, with the barakah of Bibi Zainab, salamullahi alaiha, we'll have our magnificent Ramadanul Kareem program. Have a salawat. Salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajil farajahum. Sometimes when Amir Bhai is going to be here, I'm going to mention another point because he's not here. I want him to listen to that too. So I'll keep it inshallah for that. Now, let me just quickly connect your minds. Sorry for disturbing you a bit. Bibi Zainab gave everything. Imam Hussain gave everything. Maybe we can give our money. We can donate our money. Can you donate your children? Imam Hussain donated his children for Islam. And maybe somebody can, they send people for holy wars. It has been part of the history. Idhar aaj bade wo ban gaye hain narmo nazik. Ye jallad history. They have to look in the history. It has been part of the history. People have been going to wars. They have been killed. It's part of human life. Look what's going on in Ukraine and Russia. There have been even like open threats of throwing, nuclear warheads. So don't be that delicate and that wo narmo nazik chooze banne ki zarurat nahi hai. Let's face the realities. Whenever you speak about your religion, be confident. Put your head up and speak loudly, clearly, with clarity and honor. I believe in my religion, that if my religion needs me to go for religious holy war, I will 100% go there to defend my religion. It's part of my belief. But only an imam can command for a holy war. And this is our honorable history in Shiites. Not a single mujtahid ever gave any fatwa to go and have religious combat. Only Imam Masoom can give that command. So why should we be worried? हमें क्यों डर के इधर उधर हम वो बात बदलें घुमा फिरा के बात करें? We don't have to. We don't need to. We have imams like Imam Hussain alayhi salam, who stands, fights, but fights for what? For honorable issues and honorable motives and purposes like social justice, like revival of religion, like revival of the holy book, protection of Rasulullah. Yazid was doing character assassination of Rasulullah. And the roots go back to the masala of imamat. Every single historian and theologian, they agreed. The worst issue which has caused the sword to be drawn to the roots of Islam was not Tawheed, was not Nubuwwat, was not any other issue but the imamat. So is it not worth to learn why are there so many differences among Muslims? Why was imamat so important? Because this is the reason. That's what I want to speak, inshallah. The ideology said that as soon as Rasulullah passed away, people that gathered in Saqifa Bani Sa'ida, the companions of Rasulullah, may Allah be pleased with all of them. Listen, we are not here, astaghfirullah, to humiliate anybody. We are here to see historically what happened. What happened? See, having in mind the wafat of Bibi Zainab, you know how much pain that gives you? I'm not going to mention those masaib to you. I cannot. But when I prepare for the masaib, I tell you something. 2 tons of a weight is easier to carry than reading those masaib and come back and recite the majlis, deliver your lecture, and then you have to deliver this comes from there. It's not an order, it's not an excuse, but you have to please realize sometimes it's very hard to think of those masaib of Bibi Zainab and then come here and deliver the khutbah. Please have a salawat. Ya Zainab Madad. Ya Zainab Madad. Number one, they said Rasulullah did not appoint anybody as imam. That is against this ayah. You can notice it. Manifestation. Number two, they said that it's wajib by listening. I mean, there's no word about it in Quran and the Sunnah. This is point number one. Okay. They said people elected the first caliph and they made him the caliph and imam of the people, the leader. When the time of second caliph came, the first caliph, he appointed the second caliph. For most trusted 9 Shiites books, go and find this information there. Al-Imama wa Siyasa ibn Qutayba Dainwari, the ancient history. Tarikh al-Tabari, most of you know, you have heard about it. Al-Kamil fi Tarikh, Tarikh al-Khamis, Hussain Diyar Bakri. These 4 books and others, because they are ancient books, so I'll give you these 4. Go and refer to these books. And I'm going to present you a piece from the second caliph. Why I'm going to give you this text, the reason is sometimes non-Shiites and even Shiites, out of ignorance, they say, well, Rasulullah did mention and he appointed Abu Bakr as first caliph. And you have to pay attention, this is a white lie. This did not happen. This is what happens. When you know that second caliph was struck by Abu Lu'lu with a knife. He was wounded and he died after 3 days. So he had time to think and appoint and talk. So people, they came to him, exactly Talha ibn Ubaidillah, he comes to him and asks him, appoint somebody as your Khalifa. Because you are going to go back to your God and he is going to question you, whom did you appoint for the Ummah? He said, I'm going to work on it. So just bear that in mind. Reverse the history a bit. When first caliph was about to die, people came to him. Appoint somebody as your Khalifa, as the next leader. Because you are going to go anta laqin rabbaka, you are going to go meet your God, and your God is going to question you, whom did you appoint? He gave 2 answers. Ibn Qutayba Dainwari says, he said, I am going to reply to my God. He says, Abillahi tukhawwifuni, are you making me fear of God? O Talha, if he questions me, whom did you appoint? I am going to tell him, I appointed somebody who was best in my opinion. Please pay attention. They were saying the same words, that Allah is going to ask me and I'm going to reply like this. First caliph said so, second said so. And now second caliph, he gives us some more information, and that is, in istakhlaftu faqad istakhlafa man huwa khayrun minni. If I appoint, second caliph says, if I appoint somebody who was better than me, he appointed. And he says, Yani Abu Bakr, Yani Abu Bakr appointed. Pay attention to this. Wa in ada faqad wada man huwa khayrun minni. And if I leave it on to you to elect your Khalifa yourself, he left it, abandoned. He did not appoint. Who was better than Abu Bakr? And what did he mean? Nabi, the Prophet. Please have a salawat. What does he mean? He says, if I appoint, Hazrat Abu Bakr appointed. And if I don't appoint, Rasulullah did not appoint. So all these people nowadays, sometimes when they claim, oh, Rasulullah did appoint to Abu Bakr to be the Imam and Khalifa, then what were these doing at Saqifa ibn Sa'ida. Every single historian they mentioned. And then even they could not, another fifth book, and that is book of Kalam. As-Sawa'iq al-Muhriqa, Ibn Hajar Haytumi. He mentions there. And all the other historians that Sahab could not participate in the dafn of Rasulullah, in the burial, because they were busy with the bay'ah and khilafah. They did not participate in the janazah of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wasallam. And the Salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Ishtaghalu bihi an dafn Rasulullah. Keyword for people who want to search online. Nowadays you have a huge blessing of God. Activate your keyboard on your phone, even with the Arabic language, and put these words, and you will have every single book who have mentioned this hadith in it, with its reference, with its page number. This is a beauty. Many days ago, people, they used to easily say, ye Shion ke book mein. It's in the Shiites books. Our ulama, they have not said so. But nowadays they can. It has happened to me many times. So take help from this. He says that Shaghalu, they were busy on dafn Rasulullah. They did not participate in the dafn of Rasulullah. But this is the most important I wanted to say. Nasbul Imam ba'dan qirad zaman al-Nubuwah, after the end of the time of prophethood, the appointing of Imam is wajibun. He said, but everybody knows it's wajib. It's obligatory to appoint an Imam. People, they know. People, they know it's wajib. But he goes further. Bal, rather, ja'aluhu ahammal wajibat. They said this is the most important obligation. Acha, nation, they knew it's the most important obligation. The only man who did not know is Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wasallam. And not only Rasulullah, God also did not know. And pay attention now, your mind is ready, and I'm going to give you the final argument. When Hazrat, the second caliph, was on his deathbed, he sends his son Abdullah to BIBI Aisha, al-Mu'mineen Aisha. He says, go and seek her permission that does she allow me to be buried besides Rasulullah. And Abdullah comes, has the word. She says, while going back, O Abdullah, O son, she says, Ya Bunayya, O son, Abligh Umara Salami, communicate my salam to Umar. Wa qul lahu, and say to him, La tad'u ummata, aw la tada' ummata Muhammadin bila ra'in. Don't leave the ummah of Muhammad without a leader. Acha, okay. Istakhlif alayhim, appoint somebody as your successor for them. Wala tad'u ba'daka hamla, don't leave them in bewilderment. Pay attention, this is the lob, the essence of our discussion. Mu'mineen is advising the second caliph, don't leave the ummah without appointing their next leader. Why? She herself says, فَإِنِّي أَخْشَى عَلَيْهِمُ الْفِتْنَةِ, because I fear fitna, bloodshed will be there if you don't appoint somebody. Okay, that's true. We agree with that. فَأَتَى عَبْدُ اللَّهِ فَأَعْلَمَهُ. Abdullah returned to father and informed him. Now look what he says. فَقَالَ, he said, وَمَنْ تَأْمُرُنِي أَنْ أَسْتَخْلِفْ. What did she say? How did she command me? Whom should I appoint? I mean, did she say anything that whom should I appoint? Did she give you a name? Abdullah. कि किसको मैं अपना खलीफा बनाऊं? Now, go and read this. This is from Al-Imama wa Siyasa. And read Tarikh al-Tabari. There's lots of detail. I'm just giving you these 2 lines and 3 lines. Having said that, hadith continues. Second caliph goes, he says, if Abu Ubaidah was alive today, Abu Ubaidah bin al-Jarrah was another companion. He passed by this event. When this is happening, he had died already. He mentions 3 names. He says, if Abu Ubaidah was alive, I will appoint him. Because when I die and God was going to question me, whom did you appoint? I would say Abu Ubaidah. Pay attention. Because. Why? This is the criterion of second caliph of appointing an imam and khalifa. He says, because if Allah was to question me, I will reply to him, I heard your messenger and your servant Muhammad saying that Abu Ubaidah is the Ameen of this ummah, trustee of this ummah. So I would have appointed him. But because now he's not there, then he says that if Ma'ad bin Jabal, another companion, was alive, I would have appointed him. Because I heard Rasulullah saying that on the day of resurrection, when people are going to come to Allah, Ma'ad is going to be resurrected among ulama, scholars, learned people. Okay, and because he's dead. And said Khalid, if Khalid was alive, Khalid ibn al-Walid, if he was alive, I would have appointed him as the Imam and Khalifa. Because Khalid, I heard Rasulullah saying that he's one of, not the, rather one of God's swords Allah has drawn onto the faces of polytheists. मुशरिकीन के ऊपर खुदा ने तान रखी है वह तलवार, उन तलवारों में से एक है हजरत खालिद. अच्छा, was it not you who said hasbuna kitabullah? Today you are mentioning a hadith of Rasulullah that if Abu Ubaidah was alive, I heard Rasulullah, he's Aminu Ummah. Why don't you grab Quran, open it up, call all the companions of Rasulullah? Okay guys, let's delve down into Quran and look what is the command of Quran about appointing a Khalifa, an Imam. The simplest way to put, with lots of respect. Now my dear brothers and sisters who question us, what is our view? This is our view. Rasulullah agreed upon on his deathbed. In the last moments, he calls. Now let me just give you another piece. Excuse me, have a salawat. Have a salawat. I was looking at time, I forgot to mention the last point. The first caliph is worried about appointment of imam. Companions around him, Ansar around him, who went to Saqifa to appoint the Khalifa and Imam, and they took it so important. They said it will be fitna. They even did not participate in the tadfeen of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. They said it is of the utmost importance. There will be a lot of haraj and maraj. It will be a crisis if we did not appoint the Imam. Okay. Second caliph was worried, and they were also worried that when we go back to God, he's going to question us. Okay. And then Bibi Mu'mineen is worried for the nation. Number one, Ya Ummul Mu'mineen, when it was the time of your husband and your apostle, did you advise him, Ya Rasulullah, appoint somebody, baad mein haraj o maraj ho jayega? Are you paying attention to these points? I'm going really gently and with utmost respect. We're just looking a historical way. This is what history told me. Everybody is aware that they have to appoint an imam and a khalifa for the Rasulullah's religion, and Rasulullah, who is the founder of this religion, he is unaware. And he says it's up to you. This is what non-Shiites believe. We say no, that is totally disagreed. We don't believe in that. Rasulullah from the first day, the very first invitation he gave when he was openly proclaimed to be the apostle, Da'wat Dhul Ashira, when he calls 40 men of his own tribe, Bani Hashim, and he appoints the very first day his wali and khalifa and his amir, who is Imam Ali ibn Abi Talib. Salli ala Muhammad. Now I'm going to compare these points with the previously said points. I trust your memory. Look, Rasulullah from the very first day, Imam is only 10 years at that time. Rasulullah appoints him. Now Rasulullah goes to different cities, Ta'if, Thaqif, different cities. In a tribe quickly, he comes, invites them to Islam. They say, listen, O Muhammad, we will believe in your religion, but with one condition. if you appoint your successor from among us. Refer these 4 books. Rasulullah says, no, it's not within my authority. I have no authority to appoint my successor. This comes from our God. Ya Ali, from the first days, Rasulullah knows from the first days, from the beginning of the da'wat of Islam. Now look, anywhere Rasulullah goes, his wali, his successor, Imam Ali, is always with him. Always with him. Now look, I give you some iconic ahadith. They say sam'an. It's wajib on ummat to appoint him. Sam'an, suni sunai baat. While look, what is hadith thaqalain? That I'm leaving behind 2 precious things, Quran and my progeny. La in tamassaktum bihima, if and only if I can add from myself, only if. La in tamassaktum bihima lan tadillu ba'di abada. You will never go astray after me. This is naql number 1, meaning word in writing, proof in writing. This is dalil number 1. Dalil number 2 is ghadir. What is ghadir? Man kuntu maulahu fahadha aliyun maulah. This is proof number 2 from Sunnah. This is very important. And this is agreed upon hadith. Not a single Muslim can disagree this to be the word of Rasulullah. Is it not enough indication that Rasulullah is saying? And then we have countless hadiths from our side, but I'm reluctant to go from our side. 6 books of our brothers, hadith books, and 4 other. They have Kutub al-Ashara, 10 books, including the Musnad of Imam Ahmad, and 6 canonical books. Go and find in them Sahih Bukhari till end. And these are fewer hadith I'm going to mention you. And the first hadith I've chosen is from who? No one but Imam Ali alayhi salam. Salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajil farajam. Rasulullah was speaking to Imam Ali. Imam Ali says, Rasulullah spoke to me, innahu sayakunu ba'di ikhtilafun. O Ali, right after my death, there's gonna be difference, disagreement, aw amrun, or difference of issues. There's gonna be an issue, a huge issue, O Ali. فَنِسْتَطَعْتَ أَن تَكُونَ السِّلْمَ فَافْعَلْ. If you can stay peaceful, stay peaceful. This is hadith number 1. Rasulullah says, or Ali, after me, there's going to be difference of opinion. There's going to be disagreement, chaos. Stay peaceful. This is from our brothers. Pay attention. Everything I'm going to give to you now in 3-4 minutes is from our brothers. And I'm going to go with the translation now. From Abdullah ibn Abbas. When Rasulullah's time came for death, meaning he was in his last moments, he said, Utuni be katifin, bring me pen and paper. Katif means shoulder of a goat. They used to write down on the skins. Bring me a skin or paper, if I can simplify for my youth. Bring me pen and paper. Why, Ya Rasulallah? I write down something for you, a writing, and this is the golden hadith. La yakhtalifu minkum rajulane ba'di. Not even 2 men among you will disagree with one another after me, ba'di. Can it be even clearer than this? And who is he? With utmost respect, who is this man asking for pen and paper? What is his mission? What is his duty? He is our Hadi number 1. And he is the founder of Islam. He is the one Allah says, if you turn away from him, you are not faithful. I will destroy all of your deeds, righteous deeds. Accepted deeds, they're all void. If you turn away, disobey this man. We call Muhammad Rasulullah. This is the man saying, Allahumma salli ala. Bring me pen and paper. And the reason, Ya Rasulullah, why do you need pen and paper? He says, I want to leave you a wasiyah, a writing, kitaban, a writing, not even 2, not only whole nation, even 2 people won't disagree. And look and ask them. Top of them, Fathul Bari Ibn Hajar Asqalani, the annotator, the Sharih of Sahih Bukhari, that Rasulullah wanted to write down the name of Imam Ali. Because he saw after Ghadir, people are still having gossips against Ali. And the manifest proof is the army of Osama bin Zayd radwanullahi alayhim. He commands them, go, leave Medina. Everybody join the army of Zayd and leave Medina. People, they didn't go. Our respected brothers should question themselves when the apostle of God commanded them to leave Medina, exit the city, and go for the Ghazwa Mauta, Shahadat Mauta. What were they doing in Saqifa Bani Sa'ida? Is this the fellowship of Rasulullah? Are they obeying the Sunnah of Rasulullah? How come they came back after the death of Rasulullah? They were not supposed to be in the city. They were supposed to go with the Osama's army. Please go and refer to the event of Lashkar-e Osama, Jaish-o-Osama, and read the whole event there. Next hadith. Baka Aliyun. Imam Ali started crying when Rasulullah was leaving for Tabuk. They said there's no indication from Rasulullah's Sunnat and Book of Allah. La ilaha illallah. Our brothers, they have reported Rasulullah said to Imam Ali, "O Ali, I must appoint you as my Khalifa while I'm leaving Medina. Because I'm going to go far away, 700 miles. Tabuk is 700 miles away. Or maybe the army is going to attack my city. And I need somebody whom I trust the most and who is capable of defending and protecting my family and my religion while I'm not here." Are you paying attention? And then he makes a claim. Ya Ali, ama tarda an takuna minni bimanzalati Haruna min Musa. Are you not happy that you are exactly to me like Harun was for the Musa alayhi salam? Except you are not Nabi. Hazrat Harun was, Ya Harun ukhlufni fi qawmi. Quran says, "Oh Harun, be my Khalifa in my qawm." And Musa was going only for 40 nights on Koh Tur, Mount Sinai. And he appoints. And Rasulullah has all these ayat of the khulafa of previous prophets. And he will leave his ummah without mentioning La ilaha illallah. Now look, he says, "Innahu la yambaghi an adhaba illa wa anta khalifati." It's not appropriate for me to leave Medina and leave without making you my Khalifa. Did Rasulullah not know? If I'm just going to leave for a few months for Tabuk, I must appoint a Khalifa for Medina, and now when he's going to leave the world forever. Did he not know he has to appoint somebody? Now then, how will somebody, anybody, I challenge you, with lots of respect, how will you justify the hadith of Qirtas when he calls for pen and paper? How can you justify this? When he is willing to write down the name. And go read Ibn Abil Hadid, Mu'tazili, ancient writer, historian, mutakallim. He says that Hazrat Umar, he said, I knew Rasulullah wanted to write down the name of Ali. But out of love of the Ummah, I stopped him. I said, Hasbuna Kitabullah, Book of Allah is enough for us. Okay, Ya Hazrat, if you said Book of Allah suffices us, then why did you mention a hadith? Did Bibi Fatima not on the third day mention Wawaritha Sulaimanu Dauda? Then you took the hadith of Rasulullah against Quran. This is a message for people who say, show us in Quran. We will believe. Well, look, Bibi Fatima showed them in Quran. Did they believe? Likewise, dear brothers and sisters, I hope all these comparative ahadith which I gave you, they come back to one thing. Everybody agrees, imamat. अगर मैं उर्दू में खुलासा कर दूँ, इंग्लिश में सब ने सुना है. वक़्त अभी तकरीबन तमाम है, 4-5 मिनट है. सब ने माना कि इमामत वो मसला है कि तौहीद, नबूवत, अदल, क़यामत सबसे बढ़कर खून रेजी और इख्तिलाफ मसला इमामत पर हुआ है. मसला इमामत पर सबसे पहले इमाम पर इख्तिलाफ था, इसलिए अल्लाह ने सबसे बड़ी हुज्जत को उस इमाम की मदद के लिए खड़ा किया. उस हुज्जत का नाम क्या है? फातिमा तो ज़हरा बिन्त मोहम्मद सल्लल्लाहु। इससे बड़ी कायनात में कोई दलील नहीं. अगर रसूल की वो हदीस कि रसूल फरमा रहे हैं मन माता बगैर इमाम फ़क़द माता मीततन जाहिलिया, تو بخاری میں بھی ہے کہ جناب سیدہ تا عمر آخر دم تک خلفائے محترم سے ناراض رہیں، فغضبت، بخاری کے الفاظ میں، بی بی غضبناک ہو گئی اور کبھی بات نہیں کی۔ تو بی بی فاطمہ کا امام کون تھا؟ اپنے امام سے ناراضی تو ہو نہیں سکتی دختر رسول کی۔ یہ ایک میری عرض ہے سب کے لیے، ہم رسول خدا کا کلمہ پڑھتے ہیں بھائی، ان کا کلمہ پڑھ کے ہم نے انشاءاللہ نجات پانا ہے، انہوں نے شفاعت کرنا ہے ہماری۔ اور اپنی بیٹی کے لیے انہوں نے فرمایا فاطمہ تو بدعۃ منی، یہ میرا ٹکڑا ہے، نعوذ باللہ، ٹکڑے کی تکذیب کل کی تکذیب کے برابر ہے۔ میری ایک انگلی میرے بدن کا حصہ ہے، اگر میری انگلی غلط ہے میرا سارا بدن غلط ہے۔ یہ تو میں ایک مثال کے طور پہ کہہ رہا ہوں۔ بی بی زینب ایسے ہی، یہ ثانی زہرا کیوں کہا گیا بی بی زینب کو؟ شاعر کا ایک بار شعر، کربلا در کربلا میموند اگر زینب نہ بود، سر نئی در نینوا میموند اگر کربلا نہ بود۔ اگر بی بی زینب نہ ہوتی تو وہ جو امامت کا سر جو کربلا میں دفن کیے بنا چھوڑ دیا گیا، کربلا میں دفن کر دیا جاتا، جھوٹ سے، مکاری سے، غدر سے، اور خوفناک جو نقصان پہنچایا اسلام کو وہ بنی امیہ نے پہنچایا ہے، امامت کو تحریف کر کے، عقیدہ امامت کو لوگوں کے ذہنوں میں ڈسٹورٹ کر کے بی بی زینب کو رسیوں میں قید کر کے لایا گیا۔ ام المصائب ان کا لقب ہے۔ عزیزو، کوفہ میں بی بی کا کلام آپ نے سنا، کوفہ سے ہوتے ہوئے شہر بے شہر، دیار بے دیار، بی بی زینب کا آپ کو ٹکڑا دوں گا حدیث۔ یزید کے سامنے جب لائے گئے، دربار کو سجانے میں 3 دن لگائے مسلمانوں نے۔ بنات رسول دراج دمشق پر مسجد جامع کے دروازے پر 3 دن تک رسیوں میں بندھی ہوئی بٹھا دی گئی، کہ جس میں بچہ اور بڑا سب بندھے ہوئے تھے، اور ہر دنی و پست انسان آنے جانے والا ان کو دیکھتا تھا۔ اور خود بی بی کا جملہ ہے کہ جب بی بی آئی نا یزید کے دربار میں، خطبے کا ایک حصہ ہے، امن العدل یبنت طلقاء، اے جو میرے نانا کے غلاموں کے آزاد کردہ ہو، کیا یہ انصاف ہے؟ تخدیروں کا، حرائرہ کا و امائے کا، تو اپنی کنیزوں کو اور اپنی خواتین کو پردوں میں بٹھائے اور رسول زادیوں کو اس طرح سے دیوار کے ساتھ کھڑا کر کے رسیوں میں جکڑ کے کھڑا کرے، کیا یہ تیرا انصاف ہے؟ اور انگلی سے اشارے کر کے پوچھا جائے کہ یہ جو آگے کھڑی ہے یہ کون ہے؟ عجیب درد ہے بی بی زینب کا۔ ایک دفعہ جناب فضا آگے آ کر کھڑی ہو گئی، جب انہوں نے محسوس کیا کہ یہ بے غیرت، یہ شرابی بی بی زینب کو، بی بی ام کلثوم کو، بی بی فاطمہ کبریٰ کو گھور رہے ہیں، تو بی بی فضا جو کنیز تھی بی بی فاطمہ کی، یہ آ کر بی بی زینب کے آگے کھڑی ہوئیں۔ بی بی فضا سیاہ پوش تھی، حبشیوں کا ایک گروہ وہاں پر مدعو تھا، وہ وہاں کھڑے تھے دربار میں، 700 کرسیوں پر جو ایلیٹ تھے وہ بیٹھے تھے، ان میں حبشی بھی تھے، مسلح، نیزوں سے مسلح۔ حضرت بی بی فضا جو ہیں یہ حبشی نژاد تھی۔ بی بی فضا نے آگے بڑھ کر جب بی بی زینب کے لیے پردہ بنایا نا، تو شمر نے کہا کنیز آگے سے ہٹ جا، خلیفہ کو ان قیدیوں پر نگاہ کرنے دے۔ زینب اس کا نام ہے کہ جب مولا علی کے ساتھ وہ رسول خدا کے روزے کی زیارت کو جاتی تھی نا، تو ایک طرف امام حسن، دوسری طرف امام حسین، سب سے آگے امام علی، ان سے پیچھے حضرت عباس، اور اب ماری میں بیٹھی ہوئی زینب اس شان سے جاتی تھی نانے کے روزے پر۔ ایک دن امام حسن راوی ہیں کہ میرے بابا نے وہاں پر جلتا ہوا چراغ بجھا دیا۔ میں نے بعد میں پوچھا ابا جان، بابا آپ نے یہ چراغ کیوں بجھایا؟ تو میرے بابا نے مجھ سے فرمایا بیٹا، غیرت علی کو یہ گوارا نہیں کہ تیری بہن کے سائے پر بھی کسی گزرنے والے کی نگاہ پڑے۔ بی بی فضا یہ مسائل جانتی تھی، اس لیے آگے کھڑی. شمر نے آگے بڑھ کر تازیانہ مارا. عزادارو بی بی فضا نے ہاتھ آگے کیا. بوڑھی ہو چکی تھی بی بی فضا، ہاتھ زخمی ہوا، تازیانوں کے زخم سے خون بہنے لگا. اب بی بی فضا کا اور کوئی بس نہیں چلا. انہوں نے اپنی قوم والے جان کر حبشیوں کو مخاطب کیا کہ سنو، میں تمہارے شاہ کی بیٹی ہوں. عزادارو حبشیوں کو غیرت آئی، وہ نیزے تان کے آگے بڑے. یزید سے کہا خبردار یزید، اس شمر کو منع کرو، اب اگر اس نے ہماری شہزادی پر تازیانہ، اب اگر اس نے ہماری شہزادی کو تازیانہ مارا تو ہم یہی حملہ کر دیں گے. عزادارو شمر رک گیا، لیکن زینب کی چیخ بلند ہوئی. زینب نے مدینے کی طرف منہ کیا اور کہا نانا نانا آئیے، آ کر دیکھیے ہماری کنیزوں کے وارث آ گئے، لیکن آپ کی زینب اللہ لعنت اللہ علی القوم الظالمین. ماتم حسین، یا حسین یا حسین یا حسین یا حسین یا حسین یا
ہائے ہائے شام کی گلیاں ہیں اور لوگ تماشائی، ہائے شام کی گلیاں ہیں اور لوگ تماشائی. کیسا یہ کٹن لمحہ سعادت پہ آیا ہے، نانا تیری امت نے بازار دکھایا ہے،
نانا تیری
ہائے نیند نہیں آتی معصوم سکینہ کو، ہائے نیند نہیں آتی معصوم سکینہ کو. زندان کی گرمی ہے اور دیس پر آیا ہے، نانا تیری امت نے بازار دکھایا ہے،
نانا
سجاد نے جب دیکھا سر نیزے پہ اصغر کا، سجاد نے جب دیکھا سر نیزے پہ اصغر کا، بیمار کی آنکھوں نے خونار بہایا ہے، نانا تیری امت نے بازار دکھایا ہے، نانا
تیری
زہرا کے گلستان کی پاکیزہ کلی زینب، زہرا کے گلستان کی پاکیزہ کلی زینب، کیوں وقت اسے ناس بازار میں لایا ہے، نانا تیری امت نے بازار دکھایا ہے، نانا تیری امت نے بازار دکھایا ہے، یا حسین یا حسین یا حسین یا حسین، صلوات و سلام آپ پر ہے
فاطمہ زہرا،
صلوات و سلام آپ پر ہے فاطمہ زہرا، ہم آئے ہیں پرسے کے لیے فاطمہ زہرا، صلوات و سلام آپ پر ہے فاطمہ زہرا، ہم آئے ہیں پرسے کے لیے فاطمہ زہرا، کانوں سے سکینہ کے اتارے گئے گوہر، کانوں سے سکینہ کے اتارے گئے گوہر، زینب کی بچھینی ہے ردا فاطمہ زہرا، صلوات و سلام آپ پر ہے فاطمہ زہرا، ہم آئے ہیں پرسے کے لیے فاطمہ زہرا، اللہم صلی علی محمد وآلہ۔ اے رب جہاں پنجتن پاک کا صدقہ اس قوم کا دامن غم شبیر سے بھر دے، اور بچوں کو عطا کر علی اصغر کا تبسم، بوڑھوں کو حبیب ابن مظاہر کی نظر دے، ماؤں کو سکھا ثانی زارا کا سلیقہ، بہنوں کو سکینہ کی دعاؤں کا اثر دے، بچوں کو عطا کر ولولہ اون و محمد، ہر ایک جوان کو علی اکبر کا جگر دے، اے رب جہاں تجھے سجاد کا صدقہ بیمار جو ہیں ان کو شفا یاب تو کر دے، جو چادر زینب کی عزادار ہیں مولا محفوظ رہیں ایسی خواتین کے پردے، جو دین کے کام آئے وہ اولاد عطا کر، جو مجلس شبیر کی خاطر ہو وہ گھر دے، مفلس پہ زر و لال و جواہر کی ہو بارش، مقروض کا ہر قرض ادا غیب سے کر دے، غم کوئی نہ دے ہم کو سوائے غم شبیر، شبیر کا غم بانٹ رہا ہے تو ادھر دے، بر محمد و آل محمد صلوات۔
السلام علیک یا ابا عبداللہ وعلی الارواح التي حلت بفنائک علیک منی سلام اللہ ابدا ما بقیت وبقی اللیل والنہار ولا جعلہ اللہ آخر العہد منی لزیارتکم۔ السلام علی الحسین وعلی علی ابن الحسین وعلی اولاد الحسین وعلی اصحاب الحسین۔ السلام علیک یا غریب الغرباء، السلام علیک یا معین الضعفاء والفقراء، السلام علیک یا ابا الحسن علی ابن موسیٰ ایہا الرضا، کن شفیعنا و شفیع والدین فی یوم الجزا، صلوات اللہ علیک وعلی آبائک السبع وابنائک الاربع واختک فاطمة المعصومہ جمیعا ورحمۃ اللہ وبرکاتہ۔ السلام علیک یا صاحب العصر والزمان، الامان 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 من فتنة الزمان والشیطان، السلام علیک یا شریق القرآن، السلام علیک یا امام الانس والجان، عجل اللہ تعالی فرجک وسہل اللہ تعالی مخرجک وظہورک وجعلنا من انصارک واعوانک۔ السلام علیکم ورحمۃ اللہ وبرکاتہ۔ اللہم صلی علی محمد و آل محمد. بسم اللہ الرحمن الرحیم. اللہم کل ولیک الحجت ابن الحسن صلواتک علیہ وعلی آبائہ فی ہذہ الساعہ وفی کل ساعہ ولیاں و حافظا و قائدا و ناصرا و دلیلا و عینا حتی تسکنہ ارضکا طوعا و تمتعہ فیہا طویلا برحمتک یا ارحم الراحمین. اللہم صلی Yujib for the speedy recovery of all the marid, for the sake of BIBI ZAINAB salamullahi alayha. Especially we have few, I don't want to mention their name, especially our daughter Nadia and others. Ma dhikre salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. أَمَّنْ يُجِيبُ الْمُضْطَرَّ إِذَا دَعَاهُ وَيَكْشِفُ السُّوءَ 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 بِرَحْمَتِكَ يَا أَرْحَمَ الراحمين. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Oh Allah, for the sake of BIBI ZAINAB salamullahi alayha, grant all these quick and speedy recovery and put us all among true lovers and followers of BIBI ZAINAB. Let's recite a Surah Mubarakah Fatiha for Kul Marhumin and Marhuma, especially our volunteers, our donors, supporters, helpers, whoever is helping the cause of Ahl Bayt in any form. Dhikre salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim.